Bushveld Minerals has increased its exposure to tin through the acquisition of a significant interest in the US project in Namibia. Bushveld Chief Fortune Mojapelo is on the line. Fortune, good morning. Good to speak to you again.
Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
Fortune, tell me a little bit more to kick off with about the project.
The IS project, it's a hard rock deposit, essentially spread across 3 mining licenses in Namibia, which is a historic tin mining region. The project has got extensive historical work that was undertaken. In fact, there is been mining of tin over a long period of time between 1924 and 1990, and there is still plenty of tin, we believe, that is left. By some measure, based on historical resource delineation work that was done, we were talking about in excess of 90,000 pounds of contained tin. And given that this is open cast tin resources at grades of about 0.136% tin, it's a fantastic project to get our hands on.
And Fortune, I see the project has got 3 mining licenses. Are these prospective licenses or actual mining licenses here?
So one of the interesting things about these licenses is that they're actually mining licenses. This already eliminates a regulatory hurdle to get to production for us. They come with environmental and water permits. So we are effectively acquiring a project that can be developed into production fairly quickly, and which is obviously our mindset for this project.
And how will it work with Green Hills Resources? I mean, you say it's a fantastic acquisition. What will it add?
Look, we've always said that our intention with Green Hills is to build a critical mass of tin resource inventory, which can support a standalone tin platform. We've also made very clear that in looking for that critical mass, we'll be targeting projects which are low-cost mining propositions with a near-term production profile. This project ticks all of those boxes, if we can confirm that resource space that it does have, this will take our total resource inventory to over 100,000 tons of tin contained, potentially. And that's the kind of scale that we think can support a standalone Pan-African tin platform. I should add that also this brings diversification from a geography point of view, giving us a tin asset in Namibia in addition to the South African assets that we have.
How much is it costing you, Fortune? Tell me a little bit more about the transaction itself.
Look, it's fairly straightforward. We have offered 41 million Bushveld shares, and obviously subject to the completion of our DD. At current prices of about 1.5p per share, this is about £600,000. We are acquiring, granted, a 49% interest in the 85% shareholder of the project itself. But we would expect, to continue discussions with the other shareholder, Erongo Tin, based on which obviously as a company would look to increase our shareholding in the project to significantly north of the 49% we're acquiring.
You mentioned a moment ago, Fortune, you're keen to create what you've called a critical mass with Green Hills. Bushveld's main activity, of course, is developing your vanadium interests. So longer term, what is the plan here for Green Hills, do you reckon? Will you keep it within your portfolio?
Look, we're yet to make a firm decision exactly what we're going to do other than the following. We've said that we want Green Hills to have the capacity to stand on its own 2 feet. In order to do that, we need, as I said earlier on, a critical mass of resource inventory. We need a near-term production profile. We have achieved that we'll have achieved that with the completion of the acquisition. That means then that we have potentially here a platform that can attract parties that are specifically interested to exposure to tin. I should add that I think that gives us options, right? Whether we spin off Green Hills as a standalone tin company, or whether it stays in Bushveld. What is clear is that it has the capacity to stand on its own with its own dedicated management team, which we think is going to be a very value creating platform.
Oh, very good, Fortune. Well, look, excitingly, what are the next steps here for the US project? Just run us through a rough time frame, if you can, over the next couple of months. What's happening?
Look, we've got until March 2017 to complete our due diligence, we will be focusing on some fairly detailed mapping work of the pegmatite. This tin is hosted in a pegmatite geology. We ideally want to identify high-grade zones, which can be the targets of early production. It's coarse-grained in terms of its mineralogy, which means that we would expect to see some very good recoveries of tin from a processing point of view. We'll look at a scope for establishing a small plant that can be installed in the short term, even if it's on a pilot basis. The idea being, one is you prove that you can produce tin from this deposit, that you can demonstrate the recovery parameters, but at the same time can start generating some cash from that, which you can further use to develop the project further. The fourth thing is we are also quite keen to obviously investigate the tantalum and lithium potential of these mining licenses. We know that the tantalum potential is real based on the historical work that was done. We also know that there is some potential lithium potential there that we would also look to investigate. So that will be the focus of our due diligence work, and I believe that over the next 3 months we should be able to get ourselves comfortable enough to complete the transaction.
Plenty to keep you busy, Fortune. Always good to speak to you. All the best.